Hi Sagittarius, welcome or welcome back to my body and heart tarot therapy. I'm here to the reading for June 2020. I hope you're well, Sagittarius. So this is a general reading for Sagittarius Sun, Moon and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's not your reading. All right, my dear, let's see what's going on with you. We just had a full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. How are you doing? How was that? It was a south node type of eclipse, so I think that Sagittarius could have felt it quite intense, in a maybe challenging way. But I think this is the type of challenge that really unlocks the good stuff, you know. That's where the gold is. And I hope you see it by now. Also, we have the north node moved in Gemini, which makes the south node in Sagittarius. I have a Sagittarius sun, so I'm right with you, doing the same work that you're doing. Well, it applies personally in different ways, but it's the same work that we are being called to do. And I think that especially for us Sagittarius is right now, we are especially triggered or invited, let's put it this way, to check in with our outdated belief system. We can get quite intense once we believe in something and we're very passionate about it. Now it's very important to check what is it that we really believe in, because it's the south node energies of the past. It's what we need to learn to decondition. And yeah, we also need to come into the world a little bit more, you know. Sagittarius talks about the higher minds, the big picture, expansion, growth, spirituality, things like this. But you know, we need to learn from Gemini, which is our opposite sign, how to use our worldly mind more, the lower mind that has to do with practical stuff more than just philosophy. So intense lessons for us, my dear. Let's see. Have the Knight of Pentacles as your current energy, right? Have the Seven of Cups as your challenge. Let's see what's the advice for Sagittarius. The advice for Sagittarius. The Five of Pentacles is your advice. Okay. And then you have Strength as your future energy. Four of Swords is the bottom of the deck. The theme of the month of June for us, my dear. Okay. I'm gonna pull out the clarifiers with another deck called the Wild Unknown, I think. I don't know why I forgot it right now. So you have the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Swords again as your current energy, clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. So it's really stressed, this calming of the mind that is necessary apparently and available. Then you have the Two of Wands with the Seven of Cups as your challenge. Now, why is this Five of Pentacles here as advice? This deck has a very interesting way of throwing cards. Okay, so you have the Ten of Cups. That's a very interesting combination as advice. With the Nine of Pentacles along with this Five of... Okay. Along with this Five of Pentacles is your advice. Okay, good. And white Strength here. Strength with the Five of Cups as your future energy. And bottom of the deck you have the Four of Cups with the Four of Swords. A lot of fours here. 3 fours. Mm, fours are good. Fours are structure. Okay, so this month of June, you're gaining some type of stability on your mind. You're learning to stabilize your mind and to create that structure for it to not go mad and scared and terrified and bombard you with thoughts and anxieties and things like this. And emotional stability as well. Emotional stability can feel a little bit like numbing sometimes when we not feel much of anything. But these periods are also important. So if you notice that this month, try not to stimulate yourself too much. You know, sometimes when we don't feel anything, we can get scared because it's weird and it feels like depression a little bit, and we're just going into the mind trip of what's wrong with me, why am I not feeling anything, I need to feel excitement, I want to feel alive. Use this as an opportunity to examine what's really going on in terms of emotional level for you. You see, there's this rats talk a lot about adaptability, about prosperity, and definitely opportunity. You know, they know how to use opportunities. They're very vulnerable, but at the same time they're also very thriving. They're the survivors. They're also very engaged with their families. So I think that given that it's walking on these cups, by the way, I haven't read any of the explanations of this card. I'm reading them completely intuitively, right? As I'm seeing this rat just, you know, climbing these cups or walking on them, whatever, I feel like you have the opportunity to really get what's going on within yourself. And yes, this is like more into the darker part of yourself. It's more like hidden emotions, things that maybe you didn't allow yourself to feel. Maybe you get a little bit through this calm of mind and a little bit of this numbness in order to have the strength, which you have it right here, to allow this to surface. We trap emotions in our bodies when we don't want to feel them, or when we just can't feel them because maybe they're too intense at the time. And it takes time and it takes practice to be able to start letting things go and uncovering them. And I think that this is happening this month for you, which is actually really good. And it's fours, it's pretty keeping it simple and creating a structure for yourself. And you can always like use this structure later on, which is great. It's like a foundation. Your foundation for the mind and the foundation for your emotions and how to work with them. Okay, so you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. And as your current energy, right? The Knight of Pentacles, it's slowing down. We definitely need to slow down. You may have 100 projects in mind, and your mind may be racing where to go and what to do and what's going on and what's more important and where to put my energy and where to plant this seed. Where is the most fertile ground? You can't see that if you're racing. So it is, I think it's highly emphasized in this reading to slow down by the double Four of Swords and this Knight of Pentacles. Slow down, take the vantage point, look around, use your senses, and you will know where to plant your energy. But it's not going to happen if you're just like racing, right? And you see, the Two of Pentacles does talk about balancing things out and about choices. In this particular deck, the way I see this Two of Pentacles is that because you have the Infinity right here, and it's very colorful, connecting these two pentacles on the wings of this beautiful black and white butterfly. And I also see these, you see that there are two planes that they are kind of connecting, almost like creating an arrow moving forward, moving up. I think that you can gracefully balance your energy so that you can allow the transformation to happen and move forward. The Knight of Pentacles also talks about expansion. Expansion of what? In this case, your physical realm. That could mean starting to land some projects of sorts, or creating a strategy, learning again. If you slow down, take the vantage point, looking what is the fertile ground for you. You do need to keep your mind sharp here. You need to take rests and breaks whenever it's necessary. Don't give yourself shit about having to do too much this month. Really, you may feel the impulse, but don't allow yourself to be driven by that. You see, this lamp is like pretty chill here. He's resting in a rather dark place, but he gets like this third eye shining in his forehead. That means that he gets the information that he needs. And you see, these swords are just like floating there in pure light, and it's okay, like nothing's going to happen. There's something about these swords being different. I guess it's having to do also with diversity of swords, understanding diversity and being able to sit with it. And again, allowing your intuition to come through. There is not the intuition that comes from emotions here. It's more the insight that comes from a quiet mind. So I think you're being guided to meditate a lot this month, especially if you feel really edgy. This is your current energy though, so I feel like you're not that edgy. Maybe you're really open to receive this message right now because you are here. You are balanced enough. You are able to move forward. You are able to look at the big picture and quiet your mind. If this energy is available to you, use it. You have the challenge, the Seven of Cups with the Two of Wands, and yet another two, right? The Two of Wands talks particularly about choices, about making choices that are suitable for you, and making choices that I mean, like, not just taking the first thing that comes to you because you're desperate and fearful. It's about taking your time to understand what is your value of you and choosing that. And you see, maybe you're spending a lot of time in daydreaming right now. It's possible. We can do that, especially if we have so much this Four of Swords, pretty quiet energy, if not skillfully used, can lead into just daydreaming and then dissociation of sorts. I was saying earlier that maybe you're looking at 100 million projects. Maybe you're daydreaming about them. Maybe you have so many choices, you don't know which one's good for you. This seems to be challenging for you right now. Understanding through your confusion of what is it that you really need. And also understanding, again, this is the guidance though through this challenge. Always the cards contain both the challenge and the key. And the key is to feel into it. Because it's cups and because it's sevens, it's the energy that's trapped in your body. What I was telling you, the energy of those emotions, allow them to surface and see what is it that you need to keep and what not. It's like cleaning up your closet, but in an emotional sense. We hold on to a lot of emotions because I don't know, we sometimes feel good about certain stuff that are not the healthiest for us, but just because it feels good, we want to stay there. But we know that on a long run, that's not really helpful. You know, it can be a trap, or it's just glittery stuff. Now it's time to really get what is it that's good for you at this point in time of who you are right now after all the transformations and the deep work that you've done so far. It may be different than what you thought it should be. It may be maybe something that was somewhere deep down into your gut level for a long time, but maybe you weren't quiet enough to listen. Okay, let's go through your advice. Five of Pentacles is advice. It's a tricky one because it's understanding that you are keeping yourself isolated somehow. You have this feeling of separatedness and isolation, and you may be suffering from that in a to a certain degree. But the advice is to open yourself up to receive. There is help available. And these two cards particularly that come after to clarify this Five of Pentacles, I think it's very important to shift the focus on gratefulness and understanding what is it that you actually have. Whenever we are in a lack mentality, we can't see what we actually have. And we're just focusing on the one missing thing in our own garden. Well, here shows that what you have right now, it's exactly what you need. It's the Nine of Pentacles. It's somebody who worked hard and amassed a lot. And you know, there's a lot of, you're fortunate in so many ways. There's this whole thing, for example, with people being told that they're privileged, especially white folk. But not only, there's many kinds of privileges, you know. I think that's not necessarily meant to shame us into feeling privileged. Being privileged is something that we need to honor. It is true, we are privileged in so many ways. Even if you just have a phone or a device that you can watch this, and you have, I don't know, roof on your head, and you have food, and you don't need to worry about bombs hitting your home, you're already like more privileged than quite a lot of people out there. And then, yes, there are levels and levels and levels and levels of privilege, including that, okay, maybe we don't need to worry about being stopped at a whatever, like by police to be shot. Well, to be honest, I'm not from the US. I never lived there. It's terrifying just that the police does that. I mean, they just shoot people anyway. The fact that they shoot black people a lot more than white people, that's even like crazy. And for me, it's like, what on earth? Why? You know. But the thing is, I also need to understand that where I am on the planet, I have the privilege to not have to worry about that in any way. I'm not worried about being shot here because people don't have guns on the fucking street here. Neither, I mean, like, it's a fact, okay? It's a privilege. And it's, again, not shaming ourselves into it, it's recognizing it. And when we're recognizing it, we stop feeling so poor me, poor me. It's shifting our own energy consciously. And that does not mean that you're not validating the part of you that feels separated. No, it's there, you validate it. It's your experience, it's fine. It doesn't mean that if somebody else suffers more than you, or they have more reasons or more obvious reasons to suffer, that your suffering does not matter. Yes, it matters. And a lot of people from the privileged areas actually commit more suicide and things like that. So it's about understanding where you are, what you need. But it is important to focus on what you're grateful for and what you have, because when you're in that energy, you can relate to isolated parts of yourself, to the abandoned part of yourself, and you can save yourself. And you can have a bigger picture, not a very narrow perspective. These people see, they pass by this church and they don't even see that it's there, because they're just looking down and feeling sorry for themselves. And I would too. I mean, like, if I would be like barefoot walking in snow, I would feel very sorry for myself. No judgment. It's not about that. It's about, okay, I see you, part of me that's isolated and crippled and whatever. It's a part of me that never got enough love or attention, that somehow willingly or unwillingly got shoved somewhere in the back of my mind because I wasn't equipped to deal with it. Maybe I didn't have the emotional stability to cope with it. But now you do. You have the structure, you have the resources, and you have the deeper understanding. You have the emotional balance, and you have the access to that part of you that's joyful, the part of you that is wise and can guide you through, that can see abundance in more than just physical material stuff, that can understand the simple things in life that can bring total joy. And sometimes just that rest of the mind can bring so much joy and awareness. I might have completely lost some of you. I'm sorry if that's the case. But to me, it actually makes a lot of sense. I hope I managed to describe it. Okay, so you have the Strength and the Five of Cups as your future energy, which is important because, again, Four of Cups is that part where you're a bit emotionally numb, and it gives you the little structure in there so you can deal with things that maybe are too triggering otherwise. So you maybe feel a little bit numb, but through this process that you're going through this month, getting out of this like dream mode and actually make the choice and see where you're planting that seed and which direction you want to go, and do so with balancing out your actions and with your mind and taking the rest and all that, and looking at being grateful for what you have and understanding your understanding that you can open yourself to receive, and you can open yourself to actually help yourself and connect to that part of you that feels the way it feels. That can give you enough strength and enough capacity to grieve. To grieve for what needs to be grieved for. There's a lot of loss happening into the world, and there's a lot of inequality in so many ways. There's so much misfortune and death and cruelty that when we actually relax ourselves a little bit, when we are actually not caught into our minds and trying to justify why we feel the way we feel, but we're actually present with it, and we hold space for ourselves, and we focus on what really matters. That way we can actually grieve, and we're not desensitized anymore. And that's a natural process of the Suit of the Cups. You need to create that stability so that later on to understand that all emotions are important. There are no good or bad emotions. They're informing you of something. They're informing you of something that's working or not working for you. And with Strength here, it's truly important to incorporate it, to deal with it, to connect with it. You see, you can connect with these two parts of you that feel lost and poor and damaged and so on. The way that this lady connects with this lion, with a lot of kindness and a lot of care and like taming it, and not through it, they were trying to control them or to deny their experience. She's not denying the power of the lion. She's not telling the lion what to do. It's a compassionate type of partnership, And that also means like the lion can be a metaphor for a few stuff, but it can mean your unconscious mind and desires that maybe have been shoved up in the darkness. Allow this moment of yourself to really be present with everything that's within you. Allow it to inform you. Allow yourself to feel the difficult emotions, and as you feel them, you release them, because you're not pushing them away again into the dark side of your mind. and keep them trapped in your body. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what the Rumi Oracle is saying here. Personally, I'm excited to work with this. I mean, I understand the need for this process. I can't say I'm thrilled about having to work with this energy. That's always complicated. That's always hard. And the grief is something that we naturally avoid. But I think that it's something that I'm really learning to work with. Truly learning to accept emotions as they are and to allow them. Allow. Not pushing away, not feeding them, not feeling like the world is out there to get me because I feel the way I feel. This is again important also to understand that it's not about we parking here. This is a transitory moment, just like everything else. Yes, there are moments where we need to grieve, but that doesn't need to be the new status quo. Grieving, it's a period, and then we need to move on from there too. And yeah, stay connected to your vitality, to your body, to your desires, to your needs, to stay always connected with this compassionate place. And you see, you are this lady that's got the infinity on her head. She understands everything. You are this, that's the consciousness. You are the one taming the lost parts of yourself, the sad parts of yourself, the dreamy parts of yourself, the scared parts of yourself. You're the one that relates with compassion with all these. These are transitory. Okay, what's the message for Sagittarius? The oracle message for Sagittarius. Divine Mother manifests. Ooh la la. That's exciting. Is this divine, like the Divine Mother? It looks a bit like that, but anyhow, let's read the card for you. So the poem from Rumi says, "Oh, you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss." Yes. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchids. This oracle comes to you via the sacred grace and the mercy of the Divine Mother, who is the great manifesting expression of divinity. All that is created, all that is made manifest without exception, flows from her being. This is why it is safe to trust in life, even, or most especially, the inexplicable mystery and even the darkness that may give rise to fear and judgment within us. It is all part of her unfathomable workings. We pray for light, we pray for love, we honor and live our lives with its mysteries, with as much integrity we can master. But beyond that, it is best to participate in this life with much less certainty than the mind would have us believe necessary for inner peace. Inner peace doesn't come with understanding, it comes with trusting. You see, this is why you have this Four of Swords being repeated here, because that's what it brings when you have this attitude towards life. Can we understand a star or a galaxy? Perhaps not, yet we can choose to trust in its beauty and in beingness, and from it derive great energy, hope, and inspiration. The ways of the Divine Mother are not to be judged by our limited standards, rather they can be witnessed, experienced, and received. What a relief to not need to understand. What a relief to simply live with trust and know that everything will work its way out. So there is a gift headed to you now. Will you receive it? Yes, that openness to receive. This comes again and again and again with this Five of Pentacles. Will you receive it? That gift is one of manifestation. Something you have been working towards, growing into, loving and dreaming for. You've been dreaming for, definitely. Perhaps for a very long time, is finally coming to fruition. Perhaps you... Okay, I'm not going to read that. That's too long and it's too much of a It's just a metaphor for that. So you're being asked to receive this gift completely and utterly, whether you feel sufficiently worthy or not. That's another thing with the Five of Pentacles. We can easily fall into the trap of or the trance of unworthiness, because we believe that we somehow end up here because we are not good enough somehow. And that's a very important thing to work with. And again, you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. You have them right there with you. They're okay, I'll just read this. Whether you feel sufficiently worthy or not, or appropriately and readily attired, it is time, and the bestowal of this gift is as it should be, whether it seems to be in the best form or how it should be according to your opinion or the opinions of others, is that the Divine Mother has accorded it to be. She has her wild ways, of course, and oftentimes her workings in the world are, to put it mildly, downright unfathomable. Yet somehow all things, all creations, all of life, her every working serve love. You are one of her creations, and so is an imminent manifestation of your own heart truths. Live it, love it, receive it completely. It is yours and meant to be so. This oracle comes with additional guidance for you. No matter whether no or not things appear to be working out, they are. And you are held in the loving protection of the Divine Mother, so to keep you from, say, straying from your highest path and divine destiny. There is work here for you to do upon this planet, and you in your own unique way. It is the work of the Divine Mother, the work of love. So then allow her to care for you, even if you wonder what the heavenly minx is up to at times. Okay. So there's this honoring ritual. If you feel like doing it, please do so. If not, let it go. No, not yeah, you don't have to. So place your left hand with palm facing upwards in front of you, reaching out as if to receive. You see, this is your advice, and there is so much abundance here. That's the whole thing, being open enough to receive. That's the theme. So I'll read that again. Place your left hand with palm facing upwards in front of you, reaching out as if to receive. Say aloud, Divine Mother, through your gracious compassion and bounty, I humbly bow. Bow your head to your hand for a moment. Or if you wish, kneel and kiss the floor. Okay, it's up to you. In this action, allow yourself to truly surrender into the working of love. Just intend to surrender and it shall be. Then arise and place your left hand out again with palm facing up, an arm extended slightly as if to receive, and say aloud, I willingly accept the bestowal of grace now manifesting into form as a heartfelt wish delivered to me through the Divine Mother genius and generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's it, that's your ritual. All right, dear Sagittarius, I hope that this makes sense to you. That's great news. This is great news. I really like this, and I think it's very congruent actually with what's going on in here. So have faith, my love. Let's all have faith here. It's whatever it's happening for our highest good. We need to open ourselves to receive, because there is a gift there. There's a real gift in here. Only if we allow ourselves to see it. Okay, Sagittarius. If you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment, get engaged. And I'll see you here